Hello and welcome back to my channel Nekosimi Coloring. I hope you all had a wonderful December filled with joy and creativity. For me, December was much less creative than usual. It was because of my health issues and because I was taking a strong medication. I wasn't much into doing anything, but it's fine. It's really important to take care of one's health, right? I started to feel better around the last week of the year, but my creativity was still low. So I decided just to color something. And that was the moment I grabbed the coloring book by Mei Yu and my Ohu markers, and I didn't aim for a masterpiece, not at all. I just wanted to do something and I didn't care what. I just wanted to do some art. So I just very basically colored this page, and you can see I did no shading, only a little bit on the dress and hair, but nothing really deep, and I barely did the background. This took me really a little time to finish and it wasn't much fun either, but it was the ice breaking. 2 days later I tried it again in Anime Manga Girl's coloring book, and this time I took my polychromos. At first I thought I could color the base with markers, but it just drove me really crazy. So marker base is only done on hair, which I don't like very much. It was just too detailed and delicate for me at that moment that I really struggled. Also, I didn't have a pencil in my hand for quite a long time. And you know how it feels when you switch to another brand of pencils and you suddenly have a different size of the barrel, or when you don't use pencils much and then you have to color something with them. So I struggled a little bit, but at the end I really like how it turned out. Well, except the hair. But during the process, during the coloring, I was so tired of it that I didn't even bother with the background. For me, the page is just done. I'm glad that I had a few better days at the beginning of the month, so I could color this page by Jana Prosvirina. Even though it took me longer than usual, I'm super happy with the result. I was using watercolors with polychromos on top of them and white gouache for details. You will find the color along on my channel, and of course there was a giveaway and the winner was already picked and announced on my community tab. Jana is doing giveaways few times a year, so if you want to win some coloring pages, stay tuned. Alright, back to Mei Yu. I can say I have a quite nice collection of her coloring books, but I don't buy them all. However, this one really hit my attention and I love it so much that I not only colored 2 pages already, but I set a goal to finish this book. I will talk about my 2024 goals later in this video, but I can tell you there are 30 pictures and my goal is to color at least 1 page a month from this coloring book. I already colored 2 pages, so see you in 28 months! Haha! Well, hopefully I will manage to finish it sooner, but if not, 1 page a month is better than nothing. And for both pages I used Prismacolor pencils, and finally I enjoyed coloring again. Yippee! Finally, Mythomorphia. So, the first page is this spider, for which I decided to use Shelob from the Lord of the Rings as my reference. And I hate bugs, which may be a reason for me being a bug hunter in software company. Yeah, anyway, I refused to touch them, even with pencil, so I grabbed my watercolors and I splashed the color on the page and cover all of these bugs. Well, in the end I had to touch them with the brush, but only very briefly, you know. As next, I did the Yeti page. I did it a little bit unusual. If you are familiar with my creativity and with my content and my art style, you know that I like to do the opposite of the original intent or the meaning. Or at least I like to find something on how to make it different. Not always, of course, but if I do, I always very enjoy the whole process and the result. And I have been planning to color this page like this since I got Mythomorphia. I just didn't know how to approach it. So after years, I'm proud on myself that I was able to transfer my imagination into the paper. I don't say it's perfect. I could do it better for sure, but I'm happy with it. And the same happiness comes with this page, which has so many flaws, but I love it. You know that this horse head has so many tiny little leaves and roses, and it always kept me away of this page. But you know, with my goal of finishing this book, what should I do, right? I have to color this page sooner or later, so I got this inspiration, which has something to do with the Pegasus double page, which I plan to do next, and my idea stands in Senseiya anime. However, I didn't find another Pegasus standing against Seiya, right? So I got another idea which I will keep to myself for now, and you will have a surprise. Anyway, that led me to this page, and I have found the inspiration in My Little Pony. If you know it, you probably saw Princess Celestia at least once. But did you know she has a bad self called Daybreaker? And that was my inspiration. Daybreaker has a fiery mane and is all white. Well, my Daybreaker is silver, but that's not a big issue. What really bothered me was the left page, because the page was wrinkled from using water on the picture on the other side. So I wasn't able to manage nice and full strokes. Instead, you may see these gaps, but you have to count with stuff like this if you work in a non-watercolor coloring book, right? Even though I used acrylic paint, still this paper is just not suitable for techniques like this. Somehow I managed to color 3 pages. Again, it was towards the end of the month when I felt very motivated, and actually the pages didn't take so much time. I even feel so motivated now that my second goal is to finish Mythomorphia this year. I have only 36 pages left. Yeah, well, these 46 and the intro pages. But if you count the actual pages, I can finish the book by coloring 3 pictures a month. I can achieve that. And the last thing I would like to talk before we dive into my 2024 plans. While watching some of my newest sketches, I would like to come back for a moment to Kerby's pictures. Every page I color is on my channel as color along. And in these videos, in these color alongs, I will always show you the whole process and the colors I use. However, the pages take me from 5 to 20 hours and sometimes even more. Yeah, and it's impossible to keep editing the whole footage that is 20 hours long. So I do cuts. Yeah. If there is a large area of the same pattern or background, or if there are repetitive patterns, I will cut them. That doesn't mean I cut important steps. You will always find all steps and info in my YouTube videos, just like you can see in some of my latest videos coloring Kerby's pictures. However, if you are interested in things like watching the whole process, watching the whole 20 hours of coloring, then I upload the whole non-edited footage on my Patreon. The only edits there is between each clips, when the battery ran out or when I had to stop recording and so on. So I edit only the parts between those clips. Otherwise, I do no edits. So if you are interested in such videos, you can check out my Patreon page. Patreon has a new feature that you can join as a free member now. That means you will see all my public content and you can browse my video library to have an idea how often I post and what kind of content I post. And you can join the membership if you find something interesting for you, or you can just stay as a free member and enjoy my public posts. Of course, I have also another content on my Patreon, like tutorials for coloring gold, skin, and much more from Coloring World, but I also post there how I paint and draw. Alright, let's jump on my plans for 2024. First of all, I want to thank to all of you who supported me in 2023. I really appreciate all your likes and comments, and the growing community just makes me very happy. So thank you for being the part of the community, and I'm looking forward to see what we create together this year. I will also focus on my health to get completely well and start to move again, eat more healthy foods, and just get back to my previous lifestyle. Of course, coloring is a huge part of my life, so I went through all my coloring books and chose 36 in which I want to color. Well, 36 is quite a large number, but it means I need to color 3 pages a month, and I want to color at least 1 page in each of these books. 3 pages a month seems like nothing, but add 3 more pages in Mythomorphia and at least 1 page in 30 days of anime I talked about before, and now you are on 7 pages a month. I know that many of you can color 10, 20 or even more pages a month, but you know, I take my time, and also I have other projects like painting and drawing, so 7 pages at minimum, that's quite enough. But yeah, it still leaves some space for another projects, and of course for my daily job. Also this year I will be working on a project with Coloring Book Cafe, so I am super excited about it. And I will have some more videos, so you will see some of the coloring videos from their books on my channel as well. Anyway, here are the coloring books I chose. So I did something like categories. So in the first category you see books by Hannah Carlson, many books by Jana Prosvirina, Reida Prince, then Chibi Princesses, Christine Caron, Takeuchi Art, Eric Messenger and Creative Heaven. So this category is focused more on characters, portraits and so on. In the next category we have Enchanted Earth, Fantasia and all books from my mythographic collection. The third category contains Kuroimori. This is a Japanese coloring book, and now when I said Kuroimori out loud, it sounds so cute, isn't it? Alright, then there is a bunch of Korean coloring books, of which I don't know their names. Well, except the Forest Girl, of course, but at least you can see the cover. Okay, and the last 4 books should have a watercolor paper, so I will try some watercolors here. The last category contains all the Chinese coloring books. Well, not all I own much more, but for this yearly project I chose these, and again I don't know the names of the books, but the titles are something like Ancient Beauty and so on. Except of course those 2 by Googly, and these are Find Colors and Colorful Time. So, what do you think? Can I do it? I believe I can, but I will do a revision in a few months, so we will see if I will be still on track and how I stand. As I mentioned, I also want to paint and draw more, and I have few sketchbooks I want to fill as much as possible. So into this big A4 sketchbook by Hane Mule, I want to swatch all my pencil sets and draw some pictures on the other side, just as I did here with Prismas. Yeah, it was a lot of work, and to the end it was not so fun, but I really enjoyed drawing this picture on the other side, and I would like to add some small picture here as well, so I will have the full page covered. The same thing I want to make with all my watercolors and water-soluble pencils. And for that I have the Hanemule watercolor book, and I already started with my basic set of Daniel Smith watercolors and with all the Inktense. I just don't have the picture for the Inktense yet because I don't know what I want to paint here, but hopefully I will do it this year. If you watched my previous video where I shared all the pictures I painted, you will know that I love the brand Hanemule. Yeah, this is my so favorite brand. I cannot explain why. I just feel very attracted to this brand. But as I said, I don't know why. I just feel like I want to use their products. I watched many reviews on Hanemule sketchbooks, and specifically this 100% cotton watercolor book and the nostalgia drawing book. And I heard not very positive comments on these sketchbooks, but I'm very satisfied with them, and I did the flower painting into the watercolor book and everything was fine, everything worked. So I don't know, maybe these sketchbooks just don't fit to anyone, but they fit me. I will see how they are when I will use them more and more, you know. It's possible that I will change my mind. And this year I also want to make a review on the whole Hanemule brand, so we will see. Anyway, I have this selection book, and in this book we have 14 different watercolor papers. I want to test all these papers and find the best paper by this brand. I already painted on 2 pages, one in December and one in January, so I will show you the January picture in the next video. Lastly, this multimedia sketchbook where I used mostly watercolors. Oh, and here is my little square watercolor sketchbook, which I absolutely love, so I hope I will fill it this year as well. I don't include any pencils because I want to stick to Prismacolors, so this is nothing new, but there are new pencils on the way, and these will be Caran d'Ache Pablos. I already have Caran d'Ache Luminance, so what I want to do is to mix all these 3 pencils together and have a large set of pencils. I want to categorize them according to colors. And I also purchased a drawer which has 6 floors and is made for art supplies. So I'm gonna put all these pencils inside, and hopefully I will not pick always only Prismas, but I will use them all together. There will be a lot of changes in my studio, and I know, it's a lot. These things are not very cheap, but I consider it as my birthday treat, so yeah, I use my birthday as an excuse. Happy birthday to me! Yeah. Oh, okay. Anyway, once everything will be finished and sorted out and cleaned up, I'm thinking about making a video about my studio tour or something like that. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you are interested in video about my studio. And this also relates to my next goal, which is use art supplies and coloring books I already have and do not spend so much money. I decided I will do only 4 purchases. The next year I will do a purchase of art supplies every 3 months. Hopefully I will not exceed my budget for the 3 months purchase, and hopefully I will not buy everything I just see, you know, but I will really think about what I really want to purchase, what I want to use. And what you see on my table right now is part of my wet mediums collection, and you can see the watercolors of the brand Rosa Gallery. They are quite new in my collection of watercolors. I only tried them, but I definitely want to use them more. Then I have here the palette of Daniel Smith I got as a gift. And haha! These two tin boxes are a trick. So in this box by Castle Arts pencils are not actually any pencils, but Neocolors. Basically, I shaved the crayons and I put all the shaving into the half pens. Then I stick a magnetic tape on the bottom of the half pen and that's it. Now I can use Neocolors as watercolors. Of course, I'm not gonna use them only in this form. I love the effect when you first apply the crayon on the paper and then activate it with a water brush. But in this form, they will be amazing for base layering, which will be much easier because you will skip one step, which is applying the crayon on the paper. And the main advantage from this project is that now I have all my Neocolors sharp as needles. And of course, I filmed the whole process, so hopefully I will edit it somewhere soon. And actually, I did the same with Derwent Inktense. It was half super easy and half it was really pain. I used mainly blocks and they were broken like nothing, you know, but as you can see, the half empty pens, or should I say half full pens, those are the additional colors which are only for the pencils at this moment, and that was the pain. So basically I sharpened them and then I had to separate the core from the wood and put all the core into those half pens. Then I had to mix them with water, and when they dried out, I was left with such a small amount. But it's fine. Hopefully they will add those colors to the block range as well, so I will fill the pens with blocks. But if not, I'm probably not gonna cry. My main intent behind this project was to use Inktense more because, you know, I have blocks for really long time and I use them only few times, and it's because they are not very storageable, if that's the right word. The thing is that, you know, they are blocks, so I store them in the original tin box, but it's too large, so I cannot fit it on my table when I have so many stuffs all around my table, so I would have to clean my table first, and I don't want to do that, especially when I am working on more projects. I just have no space. Yeah, so hopefully this mini set will help me to use them more because they are gorgeous and I love the colors. And that's it. Thank you all for watching and listening to me. I really appreciate that you spent your time with me. And if you like this video, you will love this one, which should appear on the screen right now. Alright, so have a beautiful day and see you in the next video. Bye bye!